Y'all, so I try to go through my phone like every 2 months and delete all the old like screenshots, videos, etc. from a year ago, right? Because I screenshot all this stuff with the intention to make YouTube videos, but half the time I don't have the time and it doesn't happen. So I try to go back, on a regular basis and get rid of all that stuff. Or, if I see something that I never made a video about, I'm like, oh, like let me make this video now, right? So anyway, y'all, so I go back into my photos from last year, like September or something, and there's this screenshot, a lone screenshot. Okay, so apparently I already deleted everything else that was, saved with it. But there's this screenshot of an African woman saying, and she's referring to me, right? She said, oh, she look more like Kunta Kinte's sister than I do. I see why African men be dogging y'all, something, something, something. And I replied, I was like, you're an African woman using looking African as an insult. Like, you don't think that says nothing about you? Oh, y'all, we got to discuss this. So I just went and looked at this woman's page, get myself a refresher, okay? Apparently she's from Banjul, Gambia, if that's how that's pronounced. And she lives in New York City. Now, I don't know if she immigrated here or if her parents immigrated here and she was born here. But either way, you're African and you're using somebody looking African as an insult. You cracking jokes about Kunta Kinte, whole time he was your great-great-great-granddaddy brother. Like, whole time, Kunta Kinte family, if he had kids before he got snatched up, probably still live in Africa. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, the math just don't be math. And like, I'm sorry, something in your brains, like your corpus callosum is broken. Something is not connecting because you are slow. You are dingy. You are like foolish, bro. You are foolish. You are an African using like, but you know what? Y'all know I'm a just flower. So I always tell the truth. That's why y'all don't like me, because I'm not finna just sit here and say stuff just to say it about other people. I'm going to look at it, I'm going to look at the whole thing, right? Because this was not clicking in my head. I was like, how are you African using looking African as an insult? But there are a lot of dark-skinned people who do that same exact thing with being dark-skinned. And they may not necessarily be Africans. I've come across dark-skinned African-Americans who do that same exact thing. Nah, don't get me wrong. There's brown-skinned people and light-skinned people who make fun of dark-skin. I'm not letting you bitches off the hook. Do not get me wrong, because y'all finna sit here and comment like, yeah, like brown-skins and light-skins, we never made fun of dark-skin. That was dark-skinned people making fun of each other. Boy, bye. Anyway, but I'm focusing on dark-skinned people because it's like, how you making fun of something that you are too? Like, Now, I know I'm not the only dark-skinned person who has had somebody dark-skinned say something derogatory about my skin. And again, I'm not saying that the majority of it did not come from light skin and brown skin people, because like I said, y'all finna be in the comments, yeah, like it was more dark skin versus dark skin. Anyway, nigga. But it's like, you as dark as me. Shit, bitch, you might be darker. And you sitting here saying something stupid about my skin color as if that don't apply to your ass 2 times as much. How did that make sense? That does not make any sense, bro. But it really goes to show you that people be delusional and people be self-hating. You can't stand your fucking self. You using somebody being something that you are as an insult. What does that say about how you view yourself? That says a whole lot about how you feel about your goddamn self. It really does. This woman is Gambian. She got it on her page. Like I said, I don't know if she's from there or her parents are. I don't know, right? And she leaving comments talking like, yeah, she look like Kunta Kinte. So whole time Kunta Kinte, your great uncle, bitch. Like, whole time Kunta Kinte on your family tree too. But you sitting here cracking jokes about somebody looking African as if that doesn't highlight the fact that you feel like looking African is a bad thing. Like, girl, what? And you thought you ate with that? Like, girl, you thought you ate with that? You really just ate yourself up though. Like, ooh, Lord, I'm sorry. But y'all, look, I swear, a lot of Africans have like an inferiority complex, and they be going hard to pretend that they don't, because like they'll be talking crap like, yeah, Africans are the original, yada yada yada, so and so and so, but then turn around and literally say how they think that looking African is a bad thing. Like they will literally make fun of Africans who are fresh off the boat, somebody who's straight from Africa. How you making fun of somebody who's like, There's a whole beef, y'all know I be in everybody's business, okay? Like, I get that from my mama is the nosiest person I know, and I am just like her, okay? So there's a whole beef between Africans who are from Africa and the anchor babies who were born and raised in the USA or the UK or whatever, right? Because the anchor babies will make fun of Africans from Africa. They'll be like, oh, you fresh off the boat, so yada yada yada, right? And the fact that you would even say that means that there's something negative about being African. And you think that being, born and raised in America and being less, culturally African or whatever is a positive. And y'all, hold up. Because I say all the time, there are a lot of people who want to be black when it's positive, but don't want to be black when it's negative. And it's the same thing with Africans specifically. Y'all want to be African when it's positive, but not when it's negative, though. There's this little boy. I told y'all I play chess. And I said little boy as if this boy is not 16, okay? I told y'all I teach chess sometime, right? So there's this boy, okay? Mind you, looking at him, he looked like a black person. Like, he don't even look mixed or nothing, right? Okay, but he is not African American. He is Puerto Rican. But again, looking at him, he is clearly a black Puerto Rican. Like, quite clearly, right? It ain't no questions. Ain't no, oh, he look a little mixed up. Look a little, no, right? So mind you, this boy, again, he goes to school with African American stuff. He uses the N-word and all of this stuff, right? But then he will also immediately distance himself from blackness when it's something negative, or he'll be like, oh, that's that black people stuff. Like, I don't do that, so, yada, yada, yada. And that shit gets on my nerves personally. So finally, I said something to him. I was like, okay, so let me get this straight. Are you black or not, right? So he like, yeah, I'm black. I was like, okay, I'm confused because you be real quick to say little comments about, oh, that's that black people stuff. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm not like that, so, yada, yada, yada. Mind you, this is real life. This is not the internet. This is why I be telling y'all this stuff doesn't only exist on the internet, bro. So I'm like, so you be real quick to distance yourself from blackness, though, right? And, he joking around, he like, yeah. So I was like, so let me get this right. You black when it's something good, but you not black when it's something bad. He's still joking around, yeah, that's yada, yada, yada. I said, no, you can't be black part-time. So as of today, officially, you're white. You're white, and every time I see you, I'm going to call you Chadsworth because you're officially a white boy. My point with that story is that he's a good example of how people step into and out of blackness whenever it's convenient. I've spoken about this a million times. That is all I talk about. Like, bro, how you black when it's something good? You want to use the N-word, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But then as soon as it's something negative, because don't get me wrong, there's negative things about every group of people. Suddenly, oh, that's that black people stuff. That's not me. I'm Puerto Rican, so and so and so. You don't get to be black part-time. That's not how it works, right? And I shared that because my point is, I see this with Africans. They like to be African when it's something positive, but not when it's something negative. Because, again, there's negative aspects of every people. You can sit here and say something negative about every group of people, right? So these Africans who are born and raised in the U.S., they take on the positive aspects of being African, but they don't like the negative aspects. And in that way, they step into and out of Africanness, right? They'll make fun of the Africans from Africa for being to this or to that, right? But, that's part of being, African and being from Africa, right? And it's like, I feel like there's a better way to talk about the negative things in your community, right? I feel like you can confront those negative aspects and say, oh, that's wrong, whatever, without taking on this, stepping into and out of your identity when it's something positive versus when it's something negative.